Good to have you back on another. So hello all. Good to have you back on another tutorial on select statement. So select statement is very useful and fundamental for data retrieving in SQL. So let's go through the overview of this tutorial. So basically we will cover select statement and other selection methods such as a top with ties, top percent, select distinct and offset fetch. So let's move on. So very first query, which is very basic for retrieving all the data. So select star from table. Sales LT product is a table name. So this is very basic and it will retrieve all the records from the product table. So it will retrieve all the rows, display all the rows and columns available in product table. So select from. The star will retrieve all the columns of the table. So now second, select. Now we can remove the star and add the column names here. So here in this example we have select product number and list price. These two are the column of this product table. So it will basically display only these two columns from this table. Let's have a look here. First of all, let's retrieve the data for all the products, all the columns. So it will display product ID, name, product number, color, and every column of this table. So after replacing the star with the table name, we can here mention all the columns, all the column names which we want to retrieve, get the data. So here I have added only product number and list price. Let's execute this. So here we have to record all the columns, all the rows for these two columns, product number and list price. Very simple. So let me add another column. Let's first check how many columns are present. Okay, we can add the name column. We can get the name of the product. So I am just entering name and let's can execute. Okay, so we have name column. So this is very simple method to get the data of the column. Now let me show you one thing. Here we have a name column and I'm executing it. So here in the column name we can see name, but we can also give an alias to this as simply as we can write in product name. Okay, so let's execute. So here in the title of this column you can see the product name, so you can alias any column which is available as you wish. So let me again alias the list price as cost. It is up to us, whatever we want to display we can mention as. Okay, so it is now showing as cost. So very simple and fundamental. Now let's move to the next, which is displaying top 10. Now this is very logical expression. Select top 10, so it will basically display the 10 expected rows from the from our query. Okay, so here our idea is to get the maximum price, top product with the highest price, top 10 products. So I have added order by clause. So order by list price as a descending will arrange the data from highest to lowest. That's why order by list price descending. So our query will be the basic simple which was used earlier. Select column names from table name. So additional will be top 10 and order by list price descending. We have added order by list price because we want top 10, so we need to filter it out from maximum to minimum. And if we want top and lowest list price, so we can simply replace descending by ascending. And for ascending values you actually don't need to write ascending ASC. It will be automatically understandable or automatically displayed. So let's begin with the example. So let's get all the products together. So we can see there are 295 rows. So 295 different products are available, and which is already ordered in descending order. So we can see the maximum price at the top. Right. So let's apply the top 10. Select top 10 or column name from table name, order by list price descending. So we can see we have only 10 rows from the maximum list price. Okay, so this is very simple. We can select top 10 and let's try to select top 10 lowest price available. So let's execute. So this is another 10 lowest 10 price, so we can change it by ascending, descending, lowest or highest, whatever we want. So top 10 will give 10 rows from the selection criteria. Moving to the next, which is top n numbers, means top 3, 4, 5, whatever we want, with ties. Now what does it mean by ties? So we have earlier filtered 10 rows, but let's suppose we have tie on any number. For the result we can have the same marks for many students if we have large number of student range. So with ties will allow us to get the same numbers, same ties. So for example, if we have applied the query for select top 3 only, so we can have Robin, Mark and maybe Joe. Then what about the Sophie? She has also the same marks as a Joe. So we can use the select top and with ties. It will allow to get tie records. Okay, so I think this is very clear. Joe and Sophie has same marks, so it is important to get Sophie also for our top 3 list. So let's see the example. This is the list of all the 295 products we are just experimenting on the example of our products which we are already using. So here select top 10 with ties. So additionally we have to add with ties and the same query. So let's execute. So now here we have 13 rows affected. So we have 13 rows in the result. What does that mean? So actually we have 10 rows as normal and another 3 rows has the same value. You can see here this is the same value. That's why we have additional 3 rows in our top 10 queries. because this is a tie. That's why. Now I think this is very pretty clear. So I recommend you to practice also in your system. Now top 10%. So we have earlier examined the top 10 rows. Now this is top 10%. So it will basically gives a top 10% of rows from our table. So this is very simple. Let's check. So 10%. So we have 13 rows. So 295 rows were total, and we have now 13 rows in written. So simply select top 10%. You have to mention percent here, nothing else. Very simple. Next, distinct. Now where the distinct statement is used, it is very simple. Select distinct and our column from table name. So let's directly move on to the example. Distinct record. Okay, so let's check first entire column. So in the table product, we have one column which is color. Now we just want to check how many colors are available for any products, total available colors in any category. So simply we can apply the distinct statement. Okay, so distinct color, it will give. Now let's first of all check C at only color column. So change it. So let's first execute this one. So we have color column 295 rows. So we can see the repeated colors. Okay, and we have also null values. Okay, so we just want to check how many colors are present in our table. So select distinct color from sales ID product. Okay, so simply we have black, blue, gray, multi, red, silver, whatever. So distinct is another very simple. Now let's move to the next. Now offset fetch. This is very interesting feature. Many developers and software developers can basically add this to create a next page feature. We can observe in many times where ticketing tools or any pages, web pages which have next page option. Let's take very simple example of Google search. We have at the bottom we have 2, 3, 4 next page likewise. So developer can get very best result from this. So what is that? Our simple select query, select table name from select column name from table name, which is product, order by, list price, and then offset, and here is 0 rows, means it will offset 0 value. That means it will start from beginning, from 1 to rows, fetch next 10 rows only. What does that mean? It will start from beginning and fetch the 10 rows, next 10 rows. This is a very simple format. So let's check the next example. Record for, if we want to retrieve record from the 11 to 20. So what will we do? We need to offset 10 rows earlier. we need to exclude 10 rows. That's why order by list price offset, 10 rows fetch next 10 rows only. If we want to retrieve 11 to 40, then we simply need to increase this number next 20. If we want another 10, next 30, as of. Okay, let's check the example. Okay, so let's first look at the all the rows. So here we have product number and list price. Just look at the row 10, 11 carefully, because we will get the result. So let's first get the value from 0 to 10 records. Simple. So it will display the from the first value to the next 10 rows. So this is our 10th record. Now as a developer in any software, here developer will simply put the variable here, okay, to get the next values. So you can imagine the next page you have many times see on any web browsers also. So let's get the record from 11 to 20 and from 21 to 30. Okay, so simply you are getting the values from n to. So I think this is very simple and pretty clear. So I would recommend you to practice all the time all the queries. It is easy to understand by simply viewing the video, but for the long duration purpose, you need to practice very more. So thank you for your time.